Hey everyone, this is Marshall U. Pascual, and welcome to my first blog. I'm super excited to be starting this journey with you. I'm a beginner when it comes to coding, so if you're new to it too, you're in the right place. Today, I am going to walk you through a piece of code I've been working on. I'll explain what each part does and how it all fits together. I'm learning as I go, so feel free to ask questions and share tips. Let's break it down and get started. This code creates a simple payment management system using Python's TKINTER library for the graphical user interface, or known as GUI, and SQLITE4 database. The program allows users to input customer information, select a payment type, and enter an amount. It then stores this information in an SQLite database and provides a receipt. Users can also search for previous payments by customer's name. Let's break down the code in detail. TKINTER is important for creating the GUI. Message back from TKINTER is used to display pop-up message such as errors or warnings. SQLITE3 is used to handle the SQLite database for storing payment details. Database setup. This function is used to create the SQLite database or the payments.db and the table payments if it doesn't already exist. The functions connects to the SQLite database. A cursor object is created to execute SQL commands. The create table if not exists, SQL command is used to create the payments table with the columns for storing customer details, payment type, and amount. After executing the SQL query, the connection is committed to the database and then closed. If any errors occurs, an error message is displayed using a message box. Inserting payment data. This function inserts the payment data into the payments table of the database, connects to the SQLite database, and prepares a cursor to execute the SQL command. The insert into SQL query adds a new record into the payments table with the customer details such as name, address, cell phone, payment type, and amount. The database connection is committed and then closed after insertion. In case of an error during insertion, an error message is displayed using a message box. Handling payment submissions. This function handles the payment submission process when the user clicks the Pay Now button. The customer details, name, address, cell phone, and payment data, payment type, and payment amount are retrieved from the corresponding entry widgets. Validations. Check if all customer details, name, address, cell phone are filled in. Check if a payment type is selected. Checks if the amount is a valid numeric value, convert into a float. If any validation fails, a warning message is displayed using a message box. If the data is valid, the insert payment data function is called to store the data in the database. A receipt is generated as a string and displayed in a new window. After the payment is submitted, the entry fields are cleared for the next transaction. Searching payments. These functions allows users to search for past payments by customer's name. The customer name entered in the search field is retrieved. A warning message is shown if no name is entered. The function queries the database for payments matching the customer's names using like to allow partial matches. The results are displayed in a list box and a message is shown if no result are found. If an error occurred during the search, an error message is displayed using a message box. Creating GUI creates the main TKINTER window root for the application. The window title is set to payment type selection and the background color is set. Customer input fields Customers input fields name, address, and cell phone. This line creates labels and input field for customer details, name, address, and cell phone. These fields allows users to enter the required information. Payment type select selection of payment type. This selection creates radio buttons for user to create a payment type, such as credit card, debit card, and cash. Payment type var is a TKINTER variable that holds the value of the selected payment type. Amount input and submit button. This creates a pay now button that when clicked triggers the on submit function to process the payment. The search section. This creates a search button that triggers the search payment function to search the previous payment by customer's name. And lastly, final setup and main loop. The create DB function is called to initialize the database. The root.main loop starts the TKINTER event loop which keeps the application running. And in conclusion, this program allows users to enter customers' detail and payment information. Second, store payment data in SQLITE database. Third, generate a payment receipt after the payment is submitted. And lastly, search for past payment by customer's name. It is basic payment management system which can be extended with more features like editing, deleting, or viewing detailed payment history.